Hi, my name is Javon Harris. I'm here to give you some information on why we as the people should stop teenage drinking. Back when I was in high school, after my basketball game, my friends and I went to a party. While we were there, two of my friends started to play drinking games with some of the other people that was there. Later on that night, I had left the party before two of my friends had left to go home. When I went back to school that next Monday, the principal came on the intercom to tell everyone that my two friends had died that night of the party. They had been drinking and left the party where one of them tried to drive them both home. They ended up driving off the road and hitting a tree, which had killed both of them at impact. I was real close to both of them. They had bright futures ahead of them. One of the guys had a chance to play football at UNC, while the other one had a chance to go to Georgia State for school. After doing research on this subject, I have learned that alcohol kills young people at a significantly higher rate than all other illegal drugs combined. Those deaths aren't just caused by drinking and driving, but it is also happens with homicide, suicide, alcohol poisoning, and other things like drowning or falling. Besides death, there is many things that drinking while underage can happen, which is risky sexual behavior that includes unwanted, unintended, and unprotected sexual activities and sex with multiple partners. These activities would increase the risk for unplanned pregnancy and for contracting sexual transmitted diseases like HIV or AIDS. Scientists believe that for some teens, thrill seeking might include experimenting with alcohol. Development changes also offer a possible psychological explanation for why teens act so impulsively, often not recognizing that their actions like drinking has consequences. How people view alcohol and the way it is portrayed in society, most teenagers expect drinking to be a pleasurable experience. It's more likely to drink. Another thing that scientists believe that help teenagers to start drinking is when they see older figures that they look up to, like their father, mother, older sibling, or maybe a famous person they look up to. Approximately 40% of individuals who report drinking before age 15 also describe their behavior in drinking at some point in their lives, in some ways consistent with a diagnosis for alcohol dependence. This is 4 times as many as among those who do not drink before the age of 21. Unknowingly, teenagers don't know the horrible outcomes that will come right then or later on in life if they start drinking at a young age. The human brain continues to develop until a person is around 25. People drinking that is underage may impair the neurological development, causing them to make irresponsible decisions, encounter minor lapses or process and send neural impulses more slowly. All of that means that the use of alcohol and other drugs over time may keep the youth from advancing to more complex stages of thinking and social interactions. Alcohol is also known as a gateway drug. This means that a user first starts drinking and then moves on to harder substances like weed or heroin later on in life. One main reason why this happens is because alcohol alters the brain, leading to a higher chance of addiction to other drugs. The other age drinker isn't the only person who is affected by alcohol. Many of the teens' families are affected by it too. Most teens that started drinking become real depressed, have lack of motivation, may start to have anxiety problems. Most likely they begin to fall back on their schoolwork and become lazy when having to do activities at school or start to get in trouble with the law. But with all of that, the major thing that affects the family is when the teenager gets hurt or even dies after drinking. It would have to be hard on the family to see their son, daughter, or family member die because the teenager chose to drink and get behind the wheel to where they crash or die. Something even worse is when a teenager has senseless, unprotected sex with a person who has AIDS or the HIV virus. That means that the family would have to put up with hospital bills, countless treatments, and having to watch their child or loved one go through all the pain or even watch them die slowly over a period of time. So there is many ways to prevent drinking by not going to parties that have alcohol there or watching people drink. But if the teenager becomes addicted to drinking, is many outlets to help them. They could talk to an adult, go to group meetings about it, rehab facility, or never go to parties that have alcohol there. In conclusion, I hope that I was able to get my point across to you and hope that you will stop teenagers from drinking. And thank you.
Bro, I was listening to that speech the whole time.